and today we're gonna do and today we're gonna do boxing basics. So let's wait. I'll wait for more people coming in, and we'll go through the different drills, basics, and more advanced stuff, specific requests that people's gonna have, and yeah, I'll show you the drills I do, the drills I think that work, and I'm gonna do my best to help you to figure out your stuff when it comes to the boxing. So yeah, I'm waiting for some people here. Happy Tuesday. Hi. Happy Tuesday to you as well. All right, I'm gonna start warming up a little bit for the boxing basic live stream. I'm quite sore after yesterday, so I don't have so-called training now. Though I'm gonna take this as an opportunity myself and work through technique, do the stuff that you're interested in when it comes to boxing, and nerd. My husband calls me nerd. What a shame. And I can't call that back because I sound like a nerd when I call him nerd. You do pepper or paper punches? Paper punches, yeah, it's a good drill. Like when you do like boom, 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 catching, pump, pump, you know, that kind of stuff. But today we're gonna do more simple stuff here. Mexico. Okay, I'll explain the joke. Chris is Norwegian, and he jokes about everyone south of the border to Norway is Mexico, and the Mexicolian thing came from this video. Maybe you've seen it. This Chinese guy on the Chinese Great Wall having a cowboy cat impersonating Trump, and he's like, on the south of this border we have Mexicolians. So yeah, that's the joke. I hate when I got to explain that, but no way you would understand what that means. So yeah, he calls me Mexicolian. Okay, yeah, let's do, as I said, boxing basics, starting from the scratch, you know. I already can start. I think there are 14 views, so people are gonna come up. Just letting you know, the camera flips the picture, so remember, this tattoo, like the tattoo on my hand, is on the left arm, okay? So this stance is orthodox. It looks like in southpaw, but it's orthodox. This is southpaw for me, and I'll show you from both sides. Girls love bullying. Okay, leave me alone with your bullying now. I'm trying to do the lesson here. Okay, where are you from? I'm from Georgia, the country. Same country as Murab Dvalishvili, Ilya Tuporia, and some other prominent Georgians in different sports. I bet you know them. But yeah, okay, so that's orthodox, that's a southpaw. So I'm gonna stand in my orthodox stance, which is the most comfortable for me. And we're gonna start from the simple stuff. First of all, if you want to get the stance right, put your feet on the sides of your shoulders, you know, approximately, and then do the step forward a little bit further than one step, maybe like exactly one step, and then just turn sideways a little bit, turn diagonally, and that's it. Because from here, this is how you're gonna move, but this is like a classic stance. Obviously there are like some modifications, and the better and more advanced you become, the easier it is to adjust and improvise. But now we're talking about basics, right? So from this stance, we're gonna learn how to do first rotation throwing punches. Like a lot of beginners have issue with this. They don't know what to do with their lower body, right? That is like a basic thing. The first thing we learn is do this movement. You know, with my whole body following the direction, going to the left, then right, rotation, and let me see the chat. Nice country, thank you. Okay, I'll be throw some like and subs, Chris says, and if you're wondering about anything, just ask and we try to help. Yes, and someone says is girls need to promote love and peace, stop learning fight. I'm not learning fight, and this channel is not about promoting fighting and violence. It's about the community, and one of the best communities I ever encountered is actually the fighting and mixed martial art community. So I encourage you guys not to talk about things that you don't know or don't understand. Feel free to be in the live stream and understand what is it about. Right now we're doing through boxing basics because that was a request for it from a few people. And it's just a usable. Look at it as a sport, look at it as a skill, or even the art, right? So everything has a structure, including boxing. So we have the stance. We'll learn how to move on our feet. Everyone says throw the punch through the hip, but it starts from your feet, okay? If your feet are glued to the ground, you're not gonna be able to move your hips properly either, right? So that's why you can even put your hands like this, it's fine. We're learning this movement first, okay? So once you learned it a little bit, once you're doing it a little bit better and comfortably, now we can add some throws. Like, you don't focus too much how you do it, just try to follow the same movement with the hip. Boom, 1, 2, on the same spot, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's do it slow, right? When I turn backwards to the right, obviously, logically, I would leave my jab, throw the jab. If I go to the left side, I follow up with the right hand, because obviously I wouldn't be able to punch like this, right? So it just naturally follows it. So it's not like a big rocket science. Okay, I'm looking through the chat, so. Okay, I'm gonna time you out. if you don't like it here, you can go somewhere else. Okay, but yeah, we continue here. So we do 1, 2, and you can pause. Obviously, you can stop just 1, 2, and here is your first combo. This is basically in the fast way you would do boom boom. That's how you would do it. Boom boom. You see? You do it slower to learn. So, starting from the same movement, 1, 2. When you do that in front of the mirror, it's right here, you can always aim, like I do to my camera, always aim to your chin. When you look in the mirror, don't throw punches like this, okay? Always aim to the same spot. 1, 2, 1, 2. There are different styles. When they're taller boxers who have their arms and shoulders more relaxed and dropped, so-called. When you're a shorter boxer, to me, in my opinion, it's better to keep your hands up, because you will have to aim there. You're not gonna be here. You're gonna have to aim there, right? So it really depends what is your body type and characteristics and stuff. And okay, sorry, I'm usually not getting annoyed, but I'm just gonna time out this guy. Okay, show the uppercut with the footwork. I'll do that now. So just because it's a request, but then we continue, okay? So same footwork. I'm not gonna jump, I'm not gonna bounce. That's a little bit an advanced level. Let's say I want to throw left hook. usually you don't throw uppercut like this, okay? Not same as the straight punch. What you need to do is you usually do it after sleep. Doesn't matter if there is punch or not. You would do the slight slip, standing on my left, leaning on my left leg, and then I do boom. So the same movement, just slightly from the down, up, down, up. It changes a little bit, but the idea is the same. This movement is the basics, okay? So on the uppercut, we go slightly down because we want to sleep, we want to lay under, and then boom. Okay, boom, boom, boom. You can do slow. Bum, slowly. Bum. And it's a front, obviously. It's a, for southpaw, it would be bum, 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 right? But it's slightly different for the left and right because of the stance. If you're in a half frontal stance, it's almost like identical. It's more like a Tyson style, but we're gonna go through that later. So bum, up, and when you go to the right, easy. You just go on the right side, you're getting the punch on your shoulder or slipping through, and then you gotta come back, right? So the idea, how you move your legs is pretty much the same. Okay, let me just see what's the new here. I showed the uppercut, as I said, and obviously you can do the same. You can do bump, 1, 2, 3. So you can build up combos and a series of the punches. Okay, my husband says, and I think I want you to hear it out. She does boxing as she has a lot of skill in the sport, and she has something to teach a lot of people. She's not delusional, doesn't think she can beat most guys, but it is a sport. She teaches. Yeah, it's pretty much it. As I said, look at it as the skill, look at it as an art, the movements, the biomechanics, and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Okay. Do you know any kicks? I know how to do kicks, but now we're focusing on boxing. I might show kicks a little bit in the end. So kicks is basically, you have like a roundhouse, not roundhouse, sorry, the spinning back kick. I used to do those kicks when I was doing karate before boxing, but it's been a very long time. Okay, so basically, yeah, the hip movement. So around this hip movement, you can 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, bum, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously, when I go faster, that's also another drill you can do to learn how to synchronize your body. Bum, bum. So you do, like you're starting throwing your punches faster, bum. If your feet are strictly on the ground, glued to the ground, it's gonna be hard to do it. It's gonna be hard to synchronize it. But instead, if you do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's almost the same. Pum 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 pum. So now, obviously, it's a little bit more advanced, but it starts from the same basics. Learning how to use your feet while you throw the punches, and even when you do slow, you can already start modifying it. There is no reason why you need to stick only to the straight punches, like a jab cross. You can already do combos like jab, hook, uppercut, for example, like jab, hook, uppercut. Okay? So let's see. Brave woman. Do you do capoeira? Not really. I'm teaching. Today it's a teaching, so whoever wants to learn a little bit more about boxing, just join in the live stream. Can we see it from the back so we can see the form? Well, let me do it this way. You might see a little bit. Yeah, I think that works actually. Let me just readjust it a little bit. So now you can see in the mirror on the back view as well. Okay, let's keep going. So back to the legs, back to your feet, and then your hips, and then obviously upper body follows it. I'm not in a very fun thing when I used to teach some dancers, like just people with a dancing background, how to throw punches, they have a problem. Sometimes they they cannot synchronize their hips with the upper body in the way how we need it in boxing, because they're like in the dancing, you just gotta, you know, kind of be more flexible, more agile. The upper body, lower body frequently it doesn't have to align, right? So all right, okay, let's keep going. So now let's just establish how we throw jabs and the cross. So straight punches, let's get the form to the form of the punches itself. So jab and cross, for example. Well, jab. Let's go for it with a jab. This is your, like, jab is 70% of your work, and you gotta have a good jab to be a good boxer. You know, there have been some cases that people break their right hand and then they win the fight purely with the jab. That's kind of determines how good of the boxer you are. So with jab, there is a completely, like, so much work. There you go, stomach, here, bum, all of a sudden, bum, 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 like jab. You have exercises like, you know, jab, and you do like a multiple jabs, only jabs, right? And that's from the very beginning. Very frequently, from the very beginning, you don't only do 1, 2. Oh yeah, sure. Oh, you're gonna close already? Oh yeah, right. It's 10. Yeah, that's okay. So you're closing now already? Yeah. Okay. That's a little bit bummer. All right, guys, let me figure out what we can do. I think the cafe is open, so maybe I'll go there and do the thing. Yeah, that's okay. Sorry, guys, I missed the time.
It's okay, don't worry.
No, it's my fault. Yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer because, well, it's my fault because I didn't look at the at timing. I thought they were closing at 10, but a little bit earlier apparently. But it's okay. I'll go to the cafe that is basically next doors here, and they have some space. I don't think it would be a problem to put the hold up. I think I throw my socks right there. Yeah, things happen. How old are you? I'm 25 years old. Hold up. A woman with accountability. Well, thank you. That's a good thing to say. Nothing to say. I think adults should have an accountability. I don't understand why there is some thoughts about that women need to be treated differently when after a certain age they become adults, same as men, right? Okay, so we keep going here. Okay, head hook and the cross will be effective. Yeah, there is a little nuance in the boxing, at least in the Soviet boxing. Georgia is post-Soviet country, right? So we have a lot of boxing influence, Soviet boxing influence. And I remember my boxing coach telling me always leave a jab or a left hook, or I mean front hook. And there it has its reason. So when you do combinations, very often you actually gotta leave your front hand. You gotta leave your front hand in the end. So yeah, that's one thing too, and it works because sometimes if you're getting used to finishing with a cross and you stay there, you become vulnerable in a position where your opponent might catch you before you even manage to get back. But when you are used to always leaving a jab or a hook, the left one from the front side, you kind of have that snappy reaction no matter what happens. So you always just automatically tend to go back in the safe distance. Are you a coach or trying? Well, you can watch my live streams and judge it by yourself. if things I explain work, bye guys. If the things that I explain work for you and actually make sense, maybe I'm a little bit of a coach. If not, maybe I'm trying. Vietnam is always so loud. They have they made a club here just to stand back. Yeah, it's like a Vietnamese club and people outdoors. It's always full of people at this time of the day. What about peekaboo style? Peekaboo style is super awesome, but it just it's not basics. I can explain how it's done, but again, it's not the basics. You know what I mean? They're like going. There is no point to try to do peekaboo unless you're you have a Kasdamata by your side and you are Tyson. Unless you want to build up your style fully on the peekaboo. Well, peekaboo has one massive con. It's that if you do pure peekaboo, you're gonna get exhausted within the first few rounds, and you don't want that to happen, right? All right. Hello. Can I have fresh coconut? No coconut? Are you close or no coconut? Huh?
Yes, but I use something.
Ah, okay, you don't have coconut. Okay, let's see what do. Okay, anyways, I'm just gonna keep going. Yeah, okay, let me just keep walking. Absolutely love you. Red hair, thank you. What do you benefit from speaking to strangers online? Well, I don't look at it that way. I'm talking to people online and I'm trying to create a good quality content, being real as well. You know, no BS and that kind of stuff. And it's pretty much about boxing and training and sharing my journey, possibly motivating someone, possibly helping someone to start training. People already been saying that some of them, the things I'm doing really help them, and that keeps me motivated to do it. So it's not talking to strangers, it's trying to build the community and build the following of that specific audience. Do you know Samba boxing? Samba boxing, you mean Samba plus boxing? I don't know if they ever did the mix. I know they did chess box, meaning that you have one round a chess game and one round of the boxing, but that is a little bit different. Where are you going? Well, gym's closed, so it's a little bit of shame because and I wanted to go to the coffee shop, but they're also closing. So it's a little bit of a bummer because I was supposed to do the whole life on the boxing footwork and that kind of stuff. I don't even have a holder now to comfortably put my phone. So, and I wouldn't put out my phone like this on the street. You never know, it can fall down, someone can pick it up, you know, you never know. So all I can do now is just maybe find a place to get some fresh coconut or something and just talk a little bit. Where are you from? I'm not from here, but I live in Vietnam at this point. So this is Vietnam, Nha Trang, and you're right, it's morning in the United States. What city are you in? Nha Trang City. A very nice city. Super cool, super chill. I mean, it's big enough to be a city and have lots of activities, but it's also small enough to live maybe in some more quiet areas, enjoy the nature, the beach. It's super nice. What nationality are you? I'm Georgian. I always mention Murab Velishvili, Ilya Tapuria. Sometimes I mention Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, that's a football, and Levan Saginashvili, the arm wrestler, Georgian Hulk. So if you know these names, if those names are familiar, these people are from the same country as I am. Don't you think practice kicks with boxing will be more efficient? Not for boxing. For kickboxing, obviously it will be, but boxing, I think there was something wrong with the connection for a second. So, sorry, hello, can I have one coconut? Yeah, iced coconut. Let me just get. Let me actually get in. Trying to find a proper camera angle. I think that should be fine if I sit like this. 1 second. Un segundo. That is a better light. So now I'm in those smaller places in Chang. This is a beautiful place. They have a fresh fruit, ice cold coconut. That's the one I ordered, and there is like super cheap smoothies and places and things like that. So I hope it works like this. Yeah, it should work. Oh, that's my only option now. I gotta sit like this. Let's see. Okay, sending lots of support. I appreciate it. Georgi Khan, football, Manchester City. Georgi Kladze. Kinkladze, yeah. Georgi Kinkladze, yes. That's the old school. That's the old school. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, there have been some prominent Georgians, but lately there have been quite a few of them. So it just became that Georgia became quite known, and more people are aware of it as the country. Post-workout meal. I might eat later. I'm not really a frequent eater. I don't eat strictly before workout or after workout. As long as I get my calories in, my nutrition, everything that I need. Well, now I'm cutting gradually, so I'm trying to have a little deficit. But I'm also logging my food and calculating the nutrition, so I can be, get my nutrition in. Can you beat a 20-year-old guy who knows kicks when you are having a disadvantage in fights? Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Listen, guys, I'm not going to be able to beat, like, just in straight fight most of the guys. The reason why women are good at, some women are successful at the self-defense, because it's called self-defense. Self-defense is not fighting. Self-defense is an unexpected momentum, like creating something that is your assaulter doesn't even expect. When you have a fight, and you fist fight. They know that, like, you basically, as a woman, you almost don't have a chances unless you have a very small guy fighting a very big, strong, athletic woman. Maybe there it becomes like a even. But so when people ask me about fighting men, I don't fight men. I don't fight anyone on the streets. I'm just training, doing boxing. I'm trying to be fit, be strong. And it has more reasons than just the dangerous world and fighting people on the streets and that kind of stuff. You know what is the best self-defense after owning the gun? Is avoiding fights and knowing how to de-escalate the situations, and that's what I'm very good at. What is the biggest genetic advantage of a boxer can you, in your opinion, can have? You mean? Boxing, well, I guess, I mean, sorry, not sorry, but I think the long reach, because everything else you can train. Obviously, timing and reaction. Thank you. reaction time, all that kind of stuff. Those things, yeah, you might be naturally better, like having a better, a faster learning of it. But those things you learn. The things that you genetically have is usually your muscle density, the way how you grow, how fast you grow muscles, and your height and length parameters. So I would say those. Has no super chat option. I'm temporarily suspended because I wasn't aware that I couldn't use VPN, and I mean obviously I was using it just for my network protection, but now I'm just waiting for that suspension time to expire. Who is the old lady who gave me coconut? She's the owner of this little place. Peanut and beans and eggs. Oh, that's quite a combo. Quite high protein and high calorie as well. It's when it comes to losing weight, guys, at the end of the day, it's all calories in, calories out. My calorie expenditure is different from the guy who is I don't know, 6'2" or 6'3" feet and you know, like I don't know, 100 kilograms and stuff like that. So we have a different. What is for me? For them, like 2,000 calories for a big guy, it is like BMR, meaning that even if they don't move, they still burn that amount of calories. When for me, it is like 1,200 maybe. So it depends on the calories, and obviously nutritional requirements always also drop. For me, I need less protein than a bigger adult man. I'm a boxer, guys. How powerful are you good enough to knock a man? There are cases when women knock out the man, and that happened during the self-defense and that kind of stuff, and that's called the striker's luck. And because the jaw, I mean, obviously it depends on the size and still the weight and all that kind of stuff, but the jaw is actually quite vulnerable. And some people naturally have stronger jaw. That's another thing that genetically would be good, like when you have natural stronger jaw and weaker jaw. But generally, any jaw, anyone can be knocked out. It's just the question is what, like where you hit and what is the power you need for that, right? So potentially anyone can be knocked out, but it's always less likelihood that a woman or a person that is a lighter weight comparing to someone who is like 2-3 weight classes higher, for them to knock out that other person. We have some people who are super powerful. And it's not on genetics, it's a specific training combined with genetics. Their power covers maybe a few weight classes in the boxing. But again, it's still like, yeah, as I said, potentially yes, but it's way higher likelihood that a woman gonna get knocked out easier by a guy who's actually might be even smaller than her. Enjoy coconut, thank you, appreciate it. Thank you, scrolling up your age. I'm 25 years old. Yeah, that's right. The more weight you have, the more you burn. That's also true, right? Yeah, that was a good point. Like for a mile run, my burn 400. When you burn, it's like 600-800 calories. Yeah. Are you really 5'2"? Not in a single video that short. Have you measured it? I mean, yes, maybe 5'3" at the maximum, but I think my mom is 5'3" and she's taller than me slightly, so it's just, I mean, it's not crazy. It depends on the country. In Norway, I'm definitely on the shorter side. In Georgia, this is actually an average height. There are shorter girls than I am. in Vietnam, definitely there are many shorter women than me, so it's kind of like, what are you talking about? It's not that short. Well, ask my husband. He's freaking tall, and I think he's gonna have a neck problem soon because he gotta look down at me. Neck strength helps, of course it helps. But that's the thing, actually being able to like move and even get hit, your neck develops, the muscles get more intense, more toned. But again, it doesn't change your jaw structure directly. I mean, you still have that's why still sometimes that's how Adesanya knocked out Pereira. Like Pereira is almost impossible to knock out potentially. Like if you look at his complexion, his size, for his weight class, he's like a weight bully in the even in the light heavyweight and especially in the middleweight. But just that striker's luck, and I'm not saying striker's luck doesn't mean that person just got lucky and it means you still look for the timing, but you also got lucky to land that timing right in the spot at the right moment, like in the right angle, and boom, the person is knocked out. So yeah, everyone can be knocked out. I'm not Irish, but I think I would. Irish people would adopt me. I just, I would learn a little bit of Irish accent, and it would work well. Okay, come to Vegas, well, maybe one day. You have a type of the face that will remain pretty when you're old. My sister is the same. Well, good for your sister, and I kind of know it because my mother, she's 50 years old, and she looks great. She still looks. She has I think both me and my sister agree that our mom is even prettier than we used to be in the youth, and because she's more Slavic, and she has that little nose, nice full lips, and yeah. But looking at her genetics, I have a hope for myself, especially training and having good sleep, good lifestyle, nutrition, all that kind of stuff. That also helps long term. Yes, guys, I'm not single. No, guys, I'm not single. I'm married, and my husband, I think he fell asleep, but he's usually in the chat moderating here. My husband is like a 6'2". Pearl's sister here. I actually don't like Pearl that much. Not personally, obviously. She might be a lovely person in person, but if you're talking about the Pearl, that the right wing media girl, she talks a lot of sense. Nothing against that. She said a lot of factual things, and despite a lot of women disliking it, she brings up a lot of facts. But I have a feeling that if you want to change something, you need to point out some good in the women too. And the good thing about women is that there's so many mothers and hardworking women in the world. In the West, it might be a little bit of problematic, but where I come from, the Eastern Europe, the Russia, here in Southeast Asia, women are super hardworking, super family oriented. Sometimes they're unfortunate, and men are not as good as they are when it comes to providing. And in Georgia, it's unfortunately quite often when men don't work. The immigrant rate is way higher within the women, and they do hard labor. They won't do nursing and caring, while their husbands live in Georgia and basically they send their money. It's horrible. I'm not saying that's right, and I'm not diminishing men, but I'm just saying that there are good women, say as much as there are good men in the world. And let's be honest, most of people are decent. If everyone was a criminal, if everyone was lazy, useless, how in earth we would have an infrastructure? How in earth we would have, the facilities that are maintained and people are going and doing a daily work there, right? So when it comes to infrastructure, most like 99% are men who are maintaining and building it. When it comes to the certain fields like nursing, teaching, they're predominantly women, caring, raising, nursing homes, a lot of women. So the thing is, like what I feel about Pearl is she doesn't try, her intention almost doesn't feel that she actually wants women to listen to her, but because that will be the best. Women listen to the facts. So when you just say the fact, but you just say it in a way and you only say negative facts just to make a point, maybe get another audience, but then make kind of push away another audience, that's not the right way to do it. So I would, if I was Pearl's sister, I think we would have talks about that. Okay, keep scrolling up, guys. Don't want to run too much. Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm just yapping because gym got closed, and they used to close, like it was supposed to close now, so I was still supposed to be in the gym, but I don't know, they're being closing a little bit early, which I gotta consider it next time. But I'll try to do it tomorrow, but tomorrow I also have a training day, so I'm gonna broadcast my training, and maybe after I can do some show you certain combinations, basics, footwork, that whatever you request there. Right or left, I just want women to have as much autonomy as possible. The right to choose is important. Well, let's look at it this way. When it comes to basic things like me being able to have a bank account, and me being able to do this and that, like I think this is like travel independently if I wish to. There's nothing wrong. I'm not harming anyone, right, with that. But at the same time, there are a lot of things they did women's liberation also to make money, to make a business, to create the whole movement against and by using that movement to distract the family, distract the unity. That is the problem. Because if you look at the modern feminists, they're angry, they're super angry, they're not capable of building relationships with men. Essentially, they're not capable to raise together kids in a healthy environment. Same goes for men. Same goes for men who are super angry at women, and they think that all women are, rather stupid and, just hate women, or they're so frustrated because there are so many, all they see is feminists, and like crazy as feminists, that they are also like, oh, women are horrible. But that's the problem. Like, we shouldn't let anyone to do that to us. And when it comes to the voting, for example, before I would think in my country it matters now, because there are a lot of both men and women, young people who are pro-as. We need more votes towards that, if we would have a proper opposition. So you cannot just change and take the voting right from women just because they're women. It's not gonna, you cannot go back in times like that way. But what I would agree was actually what's smarter to have a family. So it happens per family, that you vote per family. It's not like a man can vote and women. No, it's a household decision, and there is one vote for entire family, let's say, of the two parents and their children. Obviously, then it's like not including cousins and stuff. I'm not saying that's a solution, but in the nowadays it wouldn't make, maybe it would even make things better, because the problem is women are leaning to the left because they've been told women like to hear things, and when they tell you, go girl, your liberation, this and that, and it's easier to lie to women because women like to hear good things even if it's not true. Men are more like a facts, this and that, but sometimes they can go too conservative, to almost like not recognizing women as and you cannot lead as a man if you're not treating your wife and your children well. Even in Christianity, you should love your wife like Jesus loved the humanity, right? So it can go both ways to extreme, and the problem is now we have division, and this is what politics and this is what the businesses try to do. They just try to take advantage of people. How you do that? You create different sorts of divisive movements and make people angry and make them angry against each other. Keep scrolling up. It's the attempt for locally. Can you tell us about cost living expenses in Vietnam? It's reasonable, it's cheap. I would say Saigon, Hanoi, which are technically not coastal cities, but they're the biggest cities. They're a little bit more expensive, but not like crazy expensive. Here in Nha Trang, we found a boutique hotel, a little bit more in the north, but it's small city, so it's like a little drive or even walk, maybe hour walk to the center. It is like we rented a month for 164 US dollars, like a little studio type of apartment. It doesn't have a kitchen; it's more like a hotel. But well, yeah, Vietnamese food is super cheap. You can order food for very cheap, and it's not going to be even an issue. So, and you have like that lower, you can really do it in budget way and still have an access to the beach and, you know, like coconuts like this and, you know, super cheap, good quality food. And obviously you can go a little bit more expensive as well, a little bit more luxurious as well. Okay, that's good. I'm married, guys, but that was the... Are you free for the next 80 years? I would like to spend it with you. You know what? When you meet that special girl that is, or that special woman that is, you know, caring, and you know that she's the one, tell her that. That's very sweet. Most Western men don't like Western women. I only like Asian myself, or European, Eastern European. Well, unfortunately, yes, it is. And that's the thing, somehow, like, I think a lot of psychologists said that, some relationship coaches say it, some right-wing people say it, but I think it has, at least partially, it's true that women control a dating market, like, you know, more like physical relationships, and, you know, she's in control of that. Because even if you're an average-looking woman, you're still gonna have someone who wants to be with you, right? But men control relationship, because when man actually wants a relationship, he will commit, right? That's the only way. So it's interesting dynamic, and I think a lot of people have misconception of that. And that's the problem. Women want men to be in control of relationship. Yeah, they want to be dominant. They want men to make those steps, make those decisions. That okay, I want to be with you. And if she feels, obviously, it's her consent that oh, I want to be with you too. But they want that first step from the man, right? But at the same time, they don't understand. Oh, why? We spent so much good time together. Why you don't want to be in a relationship? Because, well, that's the thing. We men and women are different when it comes to that. At least majority women, even if they have casual relationships in the deep of their heart, majority. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of women deep inside, they actually they're kind of looking, but it's a wrong way to look for a long-term sustaining relationship. When men do it definitely in another way. Yeah, I mean, I still believe it's better to be not too available for both men and women, because it teaches you that inner discipline and gets you to the point where you actually, it's not about who's gonna have more and who's gonna fuck more. Like, it's actually about quality, you know what I mean? And as I said, men and women, the effects on the men and women slightly different, but when we're getting to a little bit higher level of thinking, for both men and women, and it goes to the point that I'm actually would not do that anymore with that person, because just because for doing it, or for adventure's sake, or for the numbers sake, because it's energy consuming. It can be a waste of time too. There's so many things you can do for the things that matter, right? And that's why now we have more encouragement back to the family, create families, make kids, raise those kids, like, because this is one of the things that is what is most important in the life. This is one of the most rewarding things if done right. And then you have that unity, and now we are living life. You can do social media, you still can do careers, still can create content, you can still do the job, you can learn so much more, and you still can do things. You can travel, change countries. A lot of people move here with their children, put them in the local international schools, and they leave it way cheaper, so they don't have to work and almost not spend time with each other. So there's so many ways how to make it work now. And I think the intention should be like that. That should be an intention. Instead of dividing and splitting, we need to finally get back to the unity. Men embracing masculinity will make him more powerful, but a girl embracing her femininity will be dominated by men because estrogen comes soft skin, weak bones. Oh, it doesn't work exactly that way. Like the misconception about femininity is that feminine women are the ones that are like so soft and this. I'm right now at most feminine era. Like, I can tell you that I had a lot of acquired masculine traits. I had to take care of things. I had to survive. I had to make sure that my family survives. When I met Chris, he brought up, like, I finally got relaxed. I finally let him lead, but it did not put me in a situation that I am. It let me explore my femininity and actually understand, at least for me, what does it mean. And to me, femininity is, I'll describe it in a few words. It's not being soft and squeaky and cute. It's nurturing. That's the first thing. It's patient. Patient, not swallowing, letting everyone abuse you. No. Patient as the power, and wise. This is femininity to me. Nurturing, patience, and wise. And peace, creating the peace through all those traits. And I found the peace with myself when I stepped into it. So I agree. It's not like stepping one another. I still value and appreciate my masculine acquired traits. It's not my natural energy and never should be. But when I do boxing, I feel powerful. I feel conquering. I feel strong, and it's normal. The more complex you become as a human being, the more you, even Hindus and Buddhists were saying, even chakra principle says that you become a whole. There is no only masculine and feminine. In Hindu, it's like a Shiva and Shakti. They created the universe, the world, by constantly making love together, and they fulfill each other. So we all have that inside. And same for men. When men step into the masculine, they have to be naturally masculine. They have to be in their masculinity to be better, to thrive, to be healthy on the physical level. But what men also need to acquire, and it's also important for their existence and their lives, is to be able to show the softness, kindness, nurturing. Where do they learn that, and where should be the environment they can do that safely without knowing that no one's gonna hurt and use that against them? Their wives and their children. That's how it works, right? So as I said, femininity, I also thought the femininity is a weakness. It's a weaker energy. It's not. It's completely opposing of the conquering masculine nature, but men, it's powerful. Men, it can change lives. It can heal people. So, sorry for ranting about it. I'm gonna go all the way up in the chat, but I had to talk about it because we need to start accepting both sides within us, and then reconnect with what is natural for us by definition, by our birth and by the way we were created, and then being able to build beautiful relationships with other people, a personal relationship, with a romantic relationship with your spouse, a beautiful relationship with your children, with the elderly, with friends, with everyone. You're a real woman. I appreciate it. Thanks. I've been called dude many times in my life, but I appreciate when people call me a woman. A 10-year-old would knock out you under 60 seconds, whether you've been training 10 years or not. That's not true. I sparred with the boys. That the boys up until 14 years old, they can. I never go hard on kids, no matter if it's a boy or girl, but they cannot knock me out. I worked with them. They couldn't knock me out. They tried. They didn't work because obviously depends on the weight class. So it's a little bit just, why are you being angry? Are you Christian? Not necessarily. I'm coming from the Christian country and I share a lot of Christian values, but I'm a seeker. I'm reading and learning about different philosophies. I love reading about that kind of stuff, and I'm trying to look for a common inherent truth, so-called inherent truth, which is you can meet in different philosophies and religions that actually make sense, that work, that is at core the real values and the core values for our existence. What is an attractive way to be a man? Don't be ashamed of your masculinity, but also define. They can be positive and negative sides of expression of it. Negative sides is you become aggressive towards the world. The positive, protector. You become a natural protector to weak, to your spouse, to children, to people in need. Like sort of that hero. I'm just saying that's the mindset that as a man, attractive man has. But at the same time, being able to be strong and resilient and conquering, also knowing and letting themselves to be soft and kind and gentle in the safe environment that they deserve. That's man needs to create that environment. That's why I'm telling you guys, you need to choose the right woman for yourself. Don't go only for the looks. Don't go only for the good, like nice lips and nice body. And a lot of people think the femininity is demanding. Like, oh, I'm like with a soft, squeaky voice. That's not. You need a person, a woman, in her state or with that potential. When me and Chris met, I was not in that. Like I had some traits he saw through, and I appreciate him doing that. But I was not the way I am now. But if you find someone who has the potential or are already in that spot when they can heal you, when they can make you feel like you're at home, this is the woman you should go for. Obviously, the one you can trust, the one you can that is loyal to you. Then you can create that safe space that is called your home, where you can be gentle and soft and kind, and you're not afraid to express those feelings. And then you can always recharge and go back to the world and conquer it. I believe the closest thing to God is all humans working together. Unfortunately, we're giving the power away to AI. You're very naturally beautiful. I appreciate it. Well, with AI, it's a new era. I will say it shortly. I believe in a symbiotic relationship because we might not even have a choice. So we might, yeah, okay. Yeah, this place is also getting closed. So I'm gonna get moving. Just give me a second. I'll look through the chat in a second, guys. By the way, I appreciate you being here. And again, sorry for ranting. It kind of went from a boxing session that was supposed to be a boxing session. Yeah, 1 second. It was supposed to be a boxing session. It went to the talking about the feminine, masculine, and all that kind of stuff. But it is what it is. Things happen. Okay, let me just put this in the backpack. How much do you know about the Islam and Christianity, you're asking? I read some verses. I double check. I like to fact check things, so I actually use AI for a lot of just the practical stuff to find the information quickly and refresh my memory and that kind of stuff. I am not necessarily how to say that. Abrahamic religions are a little bit too far from the nature. I will tell you that. That's why I'm more, when it comes to that, to the nature of the religion or philosophy, I'm definitely relating more to the Hindu teachings and Buddhism teachings and those philosophies. And but so out of the Abrahamic religions, I would still pick Christianity. It's also you gotta look at the religion as throughout the history. You don't look only at the teachings and the books and the wisdom. You gotta look how it worked in the practice. And yes, people, but that's the thing, religion is for people. Religion, as much as it was to provide structure and explain a lot of things that people couldn't explain, there was no science, then it evolved into a tool for powerful people, right? Because we're naturally hierarchical animals, so the hierarchy was built up and created naturally, and then all of a sudden religion is a power tool. So it's a little bit of it's a little bit hard conversation about talking. You can say, oh, but it's good, it's like teach this and that way, but then you have a crusades, then you have well, even take Georgia's history. We were destroyed, raped, and almost erased by Muslims, almost like 1,000 years of a Muslim Islam tyranny. So it's it's a little bit hard topic when we look at this way. No OnlyFans, sorry, not sorry. Trust me, Chris is quite he shares a lot of conservative thoughts, but he is also he has a common sense, right? So he's seen me boxing, and as much I never brag, and hear me out, guys. I never say that I am super. I actually prefer to undermine myself, because if I show that I'm better, cool, then I'm better, and it surprises people. Rather than saying that, oh, I'm this and that and this, and I can do this and that, and then all of a sudden, no, I can't, right? So I always try to be humble, not only because I am naturally humble, but because it's just smarter. It's if you want to actually have a good result, you gotta have a little effect of being unexpected. Let people expect less of you. That's what I like to practice. Your breakfast and lunch. Lunch, I usually don't have it breakfast at all. Are Muslims taking over in your country? Many Americans are getting sick of them. Muslims directly right now, well, surprisingly, are not taking over Georgia, but we have a centuries. Before Russia, we have a centuries of the horrible common history with the Muslims conquering. but that's the thing. That 12% of Georgia are Muslim. This is the results of those rates and all that kind of stuff. So it's more like a south of Georgia. Also, you have North Caucasus, but north of Georgia specifically is not. They are more like a pagan Christians. There is like a mix of paganism and Christianity in the mountain regions. But the problem is, if you go south, all the cases you know that a young girl was forcefully took out from the school and married to someone, it's always Muslims, never Christians in Georgia. So there are a lot of alerts and there are a lot of questions about the religion around all the world. I'm not saying all Muslims do that, but there is a big, massive question mark about certain things that is related to Islam. And yeah, Islam is the conquering the religion. What's your thoughts about Shevchenko, the UFC fighter? Oh, I love her. I'm a fan. I mean, I love her and would love to meet her one day. I think she's adorable. I think she's a super great fighter, one of the best amongst the women at this point, and super talented as well. And then they were boxing. What are your goals? There are many goals. A lot of goals me and my husband share together, and we help with the things. We help each other with different things. When it comes to boxing, I want to open the professional record, so I'm just live streaming my trainings. At the same time, I'm sharing some tips and things that I practice. Or I used to practice throughout my all the years doing boxing and growing my platform. So that's one of the goals. But also I want to do some professional fights, potentially here in Southeast Asia. Like as a start, it's a good place to start fighting. Where you did learn such good English? I did it by myself in 2020 when I was 20 years old. So it was pandemic, nothing was happening. So I made a wise decision about how to make my life better, how to open a lot of doors and opportunities for myself. And here we are. I work with foreign clients. I live stream in English. I have a Norwegian husband. So none of that would happen if I didn't learn English. Obviously, it took a few months for me to really get from zero, like not zero, but like a 5% to like really good level. But it was still not native, though. At that point I could communicate with people, and I was encouraging everyone to teach me the words, correct me when I was wrong, and when I was saying something incorrect. And when I met my husband 3 years ago, and since we started living together, it just became like everyday practice. So if you really want to learn English, obviously commit time to it, listening, reading, studying, writing, watching videos, all that kind of stuff. But you need someone that you can practice with, so you need to put yourself in that situation. Have you had dinner? Yes, I didn't have dinner. I had a late lunch, or how you call that, like more like an afternoon meal. She's wearing a Gucci outfit. I never ever in my life wore those kind of brands. Maybe only sports brands like a Nike, Puma, specifically shoes, and Adidas, but yeah, never, not a fan of the brands, especially the labeled ones, like when you have a big ass sign right on your right on your chest. Have you been in Dubai? No, I never been in Dubai. I'm going home now, so what can I do? Everything's getting closed and just gonna go home. And well, I'm gonna still live stream while I'm on my way, so feel free to ask questions, guys. I'll try to do a proper boxing live stream tomorrow. So I'll do my training, I'll live stream my training first, and then after I will be able to show you some of the drills and the techniques and boxing basics, basically. Gucci would make paranoid to whereas I would want to tear it or get robbed. well, funny enough, they have a lot of fakes, or maybe they have originals, I guess, too, but they have a lot of fakes, so they have a lot of good quality fakes. A lot of women, a lot of men wear Gucci and Prada stuff. I mean, you know, fake or not fake. And I think there's so much of it, they don't really, I mean, no one's gonna rob it like that. You gotta still be careful with some petty crime, like once someone tried to backsnatch me through a scooter, but they didn't manage because I had the leather bag and they just dragged me on the ground. And then Chris ran after them, like literally screaming at them that he would murder them. So they let me go. They were like probably 2 teenagers or something because they didn't look like adults. And yeah, so just gotta be careful with that. And the more empty streets. And you see, I'm not walking like on the side of the road here. I'm gonna walk like I'm walking inside while I'm holding my phone. So, you know, no one comes over, and I can see from the back camera too. But no one's gonna come to you with the knife and tell you, oh, give me your phone and money. It never ever happened. I never heard that happening, at least here in the Chang and Saigon, like, unless you go to very shady places with the very angry, desperate criminal people. I don't know. I don't think that it's quite safe. I actually been feeling safe here most of the time, pretty much always. Islam GDM or 50-50 for me. I'm not sure which way it goes. It's a Vietnam, guys. Where are you going? Going home? You like movies? I watch movies with my husband. I never been like a crazy fan of the movies. Islam's gonna reshape his nose. Well, that's the thing. GDM is actually a good boxer. So I still see, if Islam wins, I still see most likely that happening on the ground via submission. Why do you support grappler Islam versus striker GDM? Strikers gotta stick together. I'm not supporting Islam in this case. I actually do opposite. I say it's 50-50 because I think people underestimate GDM. But you cannot, when I say, just because I don't say that, oh, it's GDM wins, I'm saying an objective opinion and trying to actually give the reasons why I think about it, not just how I feel. And regarding that fight, I don't feel anything. I mean, unless it's a Georgian or my favorite fighter. Like, for example, when it was Pereira Ankalaev, I was rooting for Pereira because he's one of my favorite fighters. When it's Merab and Ilya fighting, no, I don't care who they're fighting. That's definitely, I cheer for Ilya and Merab. So those are personal. But fights like this, GDM versus Islam, I'm not having a big favorite. I like both, and I'm just a little excited to see the fight. I'm from Philippines. Good for you. We've been in Philippines, in Manila, earlier this year. If Islam wins, do you think he will beat Ilya too? Well, I think unfortunately it's going to be harder because if he wins, he's going to be in the welterweight, and Ilya has to probably, unless they do a catch weight at least, or back to the lightweight. So Ilya just probably is more comfortable. I think welterweight is a little bit too heavy. I'm not saying that Ilya necessarily is going to lose, but it's going to take away a slight advantage, and it's going to give an advantage to Islam for sure. So those little things actually do matter. When you have such an elite fighters from both sides, it actually matters who was hydrated better, who was recovered better, who is more comfortable in their weight class. Those things matter. Pereira is also my favorite. I think a lot of people love Pereira. Do you think Ilia Topuria is one of the best? Well, he's one of the best. You cannot take away that from Islam either. I think Islam is a little bit ahead by his, like if you look at his record and all the kind of stuff. I'm not saying he's better than Ilia at this point. I'm just saying that he's a little bit ahead. Ilia still has some fights that he needs to do, and obviously he wants to fight Islam, and there we're gonna find out who is better, right? But yeah, Ilia is one of the best nowadays between all bantamweight, lightweight, and welterweight, like between those three divisions. Yeah, best boxer in the UFC right now, definitely Ilia. To me, definitely Ilia. I like this move, calling rolling thunder kick. Yeah, that's a cool move, a cool name. Ilia Topuria will get knocked out like Volk. We shall see. I don't think so, actually. Well, the guy didn't. If you remember, Ilia got the head kick by Herbert. That was actually his first lightweight fight, and he was way less experienced. He was not even as good as he is now, and he recovered. That was one of the craziest recoveries, maybe in entire UFC history, or modern history at least. And knocks out guy in the second round. So, well, when you talk about strong chin, Ilia is one of the definitions of it. He definitely has natural strong chin, which is good for him. But yeah. When it comes to the knocking out, I see rather Ilia knocking out Islam, no doubt. Submission, I don't know, because Islam is great on the ground, so he can submit Ilia potentially. But the question mark is with Ilia, we don't know how good of the wrestler he is. Like, we know that his main background is wrestling, actually, not boxing, and we know that he's a black belt in BJJ. Like, which is also not, they don't gift like this. I mean, you can, if you have a gifted belt, you can always double check that, but I guess you can double check and see that his belt is legit. So man, I don't know. To me, that fight is also 50-50. Depends how it goes, which way it goes, like those little factors, who was better hydrated, in better shape, better mindset, you know, that kind of stuff.
Fire!
Yeah, drunk Russians. Khabib is the best. He was the best, but to me, throughout of Dagestanis, I think Islam already surpassed him. That's my opinion. Best grappler in the UFC? Khamzat Chimaev, I think, at this point. I don't think anyone's gonna touch Topuria, especially now because he's going through a hard time with his wife. Well, he seems to be that type of personality that if he is really heartbroken, I think he's gonna put all that anger and frustration within his training and fighting. Well, I think it's gonna be good for his legacy as a fighter. So we shall see. Okay, keep scrolling up, guys. She was scared of the drunk person, so she laughed. That was actually a guy, and there was a girl, so they're like a couple, and the guy is just, I don't know, it was guy or her dad, or never mind. So I was polite, I guess. That was my automatic politeness. This is actually a very quiet street. It seems like dark and stuff, but super quiet. Okay. Did Tom fake his eye injury? Of course not. If you see that eye poke, he could not see the fight. I'm not saying he has that like a lifelong injury now, and well, thanks God not, because if you really want a rematch, you better not wish that to Tom. But come on, guys. Like I think people who never fought in their life are the ones who don't understand or never get poked, at least. Besides fighting, like when you get double poked like that, and both eyes got hurt. It's blurry. Your vision is blurry. And imagine you are a champ, and it's your first title defense, and you're like, do you remember who was the champion who did the title defense when they got eye poked? And they lost. They lost, by the way. So for a champ, not a point. If you're a contender, yes, you probably, it's still worth to continue and do your best. If you're a champion, first time defend, it's completely like what I think should be, people should stop shitting on people who got eye poked, and actually UFC needs to make the rules stricter when it comes to eye pokes. Deducting the points and then disqualification. That's it. Not non-contest, but disqualification. And then that 40% who are responsible for 65% of the eye pokes in the UFC, those numbers says a lot. They're gonna learn a little bit how to hold their hands properly. Do you know what Rampage Jackson's sons did? Yes, I mean, it's a combination of the factors. Early CTE and bad parenting from the Rampage. Sorry, not sorry, but, and obviously personal responsibility. As an adult, it's his responsibility, but guys, we all become a product of our environment. And the saddest thing is that what Rampage did to him, maybe his intentions were not bad, but it's like the way he treated him on the public, made fun of him, made everyone else make fun of his son. That's not a tough love. That's an abuse. I mean, emotional abuse, of course, not physical. So unfortunately, this is what you get as a result when you've been treated like that, and where your ego is being hurt and getting more and more fragile, and you can't deal with it, you can't escape with that, from that environment and do anything. Stay positive. Thank you very much. I love Rampage, but I don't think he's meant to be there. Kind of the same. I mean, again, I think he was super cool. Pretty much always one of the best heavyweights, but yeah, that's what happened. This is kind of like a result of his parenting. So there is some responsibility on him, in my opinion. Yeah, that was the tough love. There's different times the internet can be restless. Exactly. And the tough love is to, when you punish your kid, you might make them do some push-ups, or you don't even punish them. You just kind of reward them with some physical training, but you never should humiliate your children, especially in front of others, and do it like a joke. No, it's just passive-aggressive behavior. And maybe Rampage was raised himself like this. Maybe he was doing that subconsciously. I'm not saying that he was doing that intentionally, but it's just like almost like a vicious circle and the family curse. It's gonna, ruin. Unfortunately, that young man is already ruined, and I hope he gets some help, but I'm not even sure if that is a possibility. So Francis versus Jones and Alex versus Jones, or Francis Ngannou versus Jones would be I think maybe Francis would be one person who would be Jones. You never know. That fight never happened for very mysterious reasons. Alex Jones, I don't think Alex manages. Like Jones is bigger than him. Alex he's a little bit too not big enough for the heavyweight. As much as he's a great striker, he's not very he's not a grappler pretty much at all. So I think Alex ideally stays in the light heavyweight, but no one's gonna ask us because the point is to do make money. So if it's a money fight, even if the chances is less for Alex, I think he's gonna pick it up and he's gonna still do it. And we shall see. But I think it's gonna be easier fight for Jones rather than with Tom, for example. And people still keep acting that Tom was like he just was getting destroyed by Gunn, but stats don't say that. They just said a little disparity towards that Gunn was winning just because he had more body kicks and the low kicks. And that was when he was countering him, when the Tom was hitting. He had like a 51% against 27 on his percentage of the head punches, and he was started getting the range. So it was just getting interesting, and that's the thing. He got eye poked because of that. Intentional or unintentional, that is a very bad and flawed habit. And well, what can I say? Now people are calling Tom names when in reality nothing was determined. Yeah, Jones will be grappling like a maniac against Alex, that's true. No, it's like every fight that Paul had, I think, was rigged, like easy. Yeah, some of them maybe was he was. That's the thing. Like what happens with the Tommy Fury. I think he just decided to just go full and knocks out the soft boy Paul and the Jake. And yeah, these guys are just they're performers. I'm not gonna say anything disrespectful. They're performers, but it's okay with WWE. No problem. That's the universe. That's how you're supposed to do that. But boxing already been rigged enough. Okay, it's been rigged enough, and there's like always been a fighting with the corruption within boxing and all that kind of stuff. When you make it look like a WWE, that is like, come on, that's way too that's too much. Jones will win, but he's getting older. Yes, he is, and well, I kind of understand why he would retire, but then he just rather have to stay retired, or he has to have one more fight with Tom if he really wants to secure his legacy. Now I know you're taken, but I would get in the ring against John Jones with no fighting experience if it meant you would be impressed by their fight. Okay, you know what? I'm not that evil. No, I would not be impressed. I would be concerned. So please, and never do that for a girl. Some women are evil. Some women gonna be, oh yeah, you're ready to do that for me. No, don't do that. Don't put your and never even look towards a woman's direction when if they that's what they want. That's what makes them excited for you to get on the thing and risk your life, risk your health, because standing against the John Jones would mean risk your life and risk your health in a quite a major way. So I'm just telling you, it was a cool joke, but yeah, then like never even look to the women's direction when they are thinking that way. And I understand we like when this man stands up for us and they prove that they're tough and all that kind of stuff. We'll like it, but there are many other ways. Go build a summer house or like a garage or something. That is already impressive, Go just fix the top of or the sink or something that is broken in the house. That is super impressive, Just you can show your manhood and your that you're capable, like through those kind of things. You don't have to fight people, and especially fighters that are like literally could kill. Like, and John Jones is the guy. I don't think he would care that much. He's like a full-on sociopath that tries to act decent, but sometimes fails to do that. What time is now? It's already 10, it's almost 11, so I'm gonna go home in a bit. Great advice right there. Well, I'm a new subscriber now. You're very down to earth and genuine person. I appreciate it. Yeah, sorry, I got a rant about it, but yeah, guys, I always gonna tell you what not to do, but also what to do from my perspective. You know, it's good to prove your manhood, but again, there are ways to do that in a safe way. And you're a woman who actually loves and cares for you. They're always gonna be concerned about your safety, and they're not gonna want you to do something to prove them. So just repeating that for some other people. John Jones versus 100 gorillas. It reminds me of GSP's talks about the gorilla, like the gorilla looking at him, like showing the back, like, oh, you're not even a threat. So, I don't know, maybe a couple of gorillas. Hi, interesting to hear what this channel is about. Well, it's about boxing, but I was supposed to do boxing basics too, because some people requested it. So I was about to show the techniques and all from the scratch. And the gym got closed earlier. I don't know, they just started closing up a little bit earlier, so that was a little bit frustrating. Then I went to get some coconut water. Then that place closed, so I just decided to walk home and stuff. So yeah. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Are you single? No, I'm not. I'm married. But my channel is about boxing and training, showing my journey, my lifestyle, and well, talking about some important stuff as well. At times we just talk and rant and have conversations here. I'm also the same guy. Yeah, I remember about you would carry your picture. Well, then you go to the war. LOL. Well, that was a sweet phrase. Like you can say that to a girl that thinks that you think is the one. Why not? But again, it's actually a good way to test women too. As much as women she tests. Like when me and Chris met, and he was still having a cancer. It was GIST. He was operated. He was fine, but he was still on that medication. He was still recovering. He was building up his muscle mass. So we met at that period of time, and I took him to the hike, like a 12-kilometer, like a moderate, not very difficult, but it wasn't necessarily that I didn't want him to go too fast and just see how strong he is. Not that way, but I also wanted to show him my world, what things I like, and I wanted to see, well, is it this like one of the lazy ass people who is like, no, he took it with full dignity. Then he felt a little bit sick after that, but now obviously he's recovered. He's way stronger. He's super strong now, physically. But the point is, yeah, women gonna shit test you, but it depends how they do that, right? They also might want to show their interest in the world, there are girls who just want to go party and go restaurants and all the fancy stuff. There are girls that are just happy to do the walk and hike. And yeah, it might be physically a little bit challenging, but that might be a healthy activity that is just good for both of you, right? So yeah, and if you're gonna see in a situation that a woman expects you to really engage in the real fight because of the small things, unnecessary stuff, I don't know. Unless you are getting attacked by someone right in front of them, even worse. Like I know that Chris would definitely stand up for me if there's someone even calls me something. But that's the thing, because I don't want him, to get in any trouble or potentially get hurt or anything, But even though he's strong, big person, but you never know what happens in the street fights. Like as much as I would always avoid situations like that, I want him to avoid those situations too, and he knows that I care for it, and I would rather pull him and say, please, let's not pay attention to it, rather than, for him, yeah, someone called me that, go fight them. So yeah, it's a good way to test women too. I'm married, as I said already. Makhachev smash everyone, brother. Yeah, I can rant sometimes. Sorry for that, guys. In a street fight for hits, first wins. So that's quite an accurate wording. Yeah, that's quite true. I'm 25 years old. Is it a good idea to get into wrestling training with neck spondylitis? Well, consult with your doctor. Can be a little bit challenging, but if you do that gradually and accurately, maybe. But still gotta be careful with it. Maybe BJJ is a better idea if you want to do grappling instead, because in wrestling there's a lot of engagement with your neck. A lot of engagement with your neck. In BJJ, it's not that much, especially with the gi. It's more of like, there is not, unless you get rear naked choke and neck-related chokes. But it's not that much pulling and pushing on the neck, like in the freestyle or Greco-Roman wrestling. But guys, okay, thank you very much for being here. I'm gonna go home and rest. I see you tomorrow in the next live stream. Thanks for engaging, and yeah, till the next time.